Third, I build muscle before trying to get lean.
No! You have to build muscle before you get lean. Okay, and so people are watching her video. Let's see if there's many that watch this. No, not many people watch it, thank God. Picture this. You're fat right now, 40% body fat, fatter than her, or her body fat, what? Exactly what? You're just fat. And so you watch this video, 4 ways to be better. Okay. And you're like, point number 3, lift weights and build muscle before getting lean. And so you now have to train with weights for what? 5 years? 2 years? How many years before you can then go on a diet? Have you ever heard of main gain?
This is a brain rot special.
Tia Matic cooking in the basement.
Coach Greg, in today's video, 4 rules to lose fat faster. And so we're in for a doozy. We've got a girl and she's short. She's even shorter than Coach Greg. And so she's gonna teach us how to lose weight and to do it properly. And so I'm gonna watch the video, as I always do, and I'm gonna tell you whether she's making sense or she's making no sense. And remember, before you even start the video, I'm not racist, I'm not a misogynist, and I don't hate short women. You can go and check her out. You can follow her. Her name is Sullivan Draper. Your before form is my goal. As a short woman, thank you for your videos. I don't care if you're tall, if you're short, if you're black, or if you're white. We all lose fat the same way. And so to say, as a short girl, as a man, as a woman, as a trans, as a black, white, brown, blue, papa, freaking smurf, it's all the same way. The exact same way.
If I had to start my fat loss journey over again as a short girl, these are the 4 rules I'd follow to get better results in less time.
And so is her before actually healthy? Is it ideal? I mean, the woman said, your before is my goal. That is not ideal. Is she morbidly obese? No. Does she look attractive? Yes. Just because you're not ugly, just because you're not grossly, grotesque fat, doesn't mean that you can't lose some weight. And so in her before, she's at least 35% body fat. She's obese. Now, doesn't mean she's ugly, doesn't mean you won't swipe right on Tinder, but it does mean she's obese. And what is obesity? It's when you're over fat. You're too heavy. It's not ideal. And so losing weight when you look like this, it's a good thing. I'm not saying she needs to lose weight to be attractive. I'm saying that if she loses weight, for example, her VO2 max most likely is going to go up. She's probably going to live longer. It's going to be healthier, less strain on her heart, less likely to get type 2 diabetes. And so this is good. She's trying to lose weight. Nothing wrong with that. And in the after, I mean, frankly, she looks amazing. Look at the quads, very well developed. I can see her abs. She still has a round face. I do believe that that's genetic. She's probably very young. She has great muscle tone, and it's possible that she actually did this natural. She might have not have used Anavar. She might not have used SARMs, peptides, fat burners, nothing. I mean, we're 3 seconds into the video, and so she looks great. She's perhaps not quite lean enough to do a bikini competition if your goal was to win, but why would she need to do that? This, to me, looks healthy. Bravo.
If I had to start my fat loss journey over again as a short girl,
Why do we have to point out as a short girl? Does she look like she's 5 feet tall, 5'3", 5'6"? I can't tell. How do you know if she's a short girl? And so why would it matter? If she were 6 inches taller, can she suddenly break the laws of thermodynamics? You know, as a short girl, I have to eat in a deficit and perform cardio. You taller girls, you eat whatever you want. You can eat during the middle of the night, but for me, I have to fast. What is this? And so that point is utterly useless. We could have condensed the video. She's flexing the back. It looks great. Very low body fat levels in her back. And as we look down towards the glutes, the thighs, quads, you can see some body fat, in particular on the left here. And so when I look at this physique, she's at least 22% body fat. She's not in the unhealthy lean zone. She isn't so lean that I would be concerned for her health. I don't believe she's amenorrheic. And so what I see in this photo right here is an ideal physique. And so I'm not shitting on her. I'm not putting her down. This physique in the after, it's exquisite. She doesn't need to lose 5 more pounds. She doesn't need to diet more and enter some bikini competition for self-validation and so on. And so this is goals. There. Do I look like an asshole? All right. And so she says, better results in less time. What exactly is better? Is it losing more fat or is it building more muscle? Because what are the results that you're looking for? Generally speaking, better results in terms of cutting on a diet is to have less body fat and more muscle more quickly. Other than that, what exactly would be better? And so obviously, if she wanted better results, she'd go to HDLT supplements and she'd get Turk Builder Max and Geotomax. I mean, does anyone not already know this? I think it goes without saying that every single person in the world who watches Coach Greg videos knows that if you want better results faster than last time, these are the supplements you want for more muscle, more energy, greater recovery, more endurance. Burn more calories while doing your cardio. But she probably has never heard of Coach Greg, and so she probably did it without using anything.
I'd stop using the scale as my only measure.
Whoa. The scale is the measure. The measure. If there's one measure of all the measurement tools to use, I don't care if you got a body fat calipers, a friggin' scale to track what you're eating, or a friggin' protractor to see what angle your glute shelf is at. It's got to be the scale. You weigh yourself, and if you're not losing weight, what the fuck do you think's going on? If every week the scale is not dropping, it's staying the same, it's going up, what do you think's happening? Oh no, I'm losing fat and I'm replacing with muscle so quickly that the scale isn't dropping. Are you on trend? And so if you're natty, this is what's gonna happen. You lose fat 10 times more quickly than you build muscle. And so how would it be possible for your weight to stay the same each and every week or even go up while dropping body fat at the same time when body fat is so easy to lose? Yeah, you're saying, no, it's not easy. It's a lot of work. You have to put the fork down. You have to be in a calorie deficit. You have to do cardio. Yeah, I get those things. But compared to building muscle. And so when she says, stop relying on the scale, just look in the mirror. No, don't look in the mirror. Y'all heard of body dysmorphia? You're losing weight and you're looking in the mirror, and the more weight that you lose, the worse you seem to think you look. Happens all the time.
The scale doesn't tell you if you're losing fat or muscle. Photos and how your clothes fit tell you way more.
What does? Looking in the mirror? Photos? A photo tells you if you're losing fat or muscle. The mirror. And so you're standing there in the mirror and you can see if you're losing muscle. What? You have laser eyes like Coach Greg and you can glance in a mirror in a photo and say, yep, 14% body fat this week, 13%, but I did lose 2 percentages of muscle. No, you can't do that. The scale is accurate. If you're losing too quickly, more than 1 percentage point of your body weight each and every week, it's too much. Now, granted, the first week, it's okay. I understand that when you reduce carbohydrates, you have less glycogen stores, and for every 1 gram of carb, your body stores 3 grams of water. And so it's normal in the first week to reduce your weight greater than 1%. That is okay. You don't want to lose 5%, but if you lose an extra percentage, well, that's okay. And so your goal for most people should be 0.5 to 1% of your weight each and every week. And of course, if you're starving all the time, you're not losing weight quickly enough, you've gone 2 weeks in a row, you haven't lost any weight, you can't put the fork down. GLP Max, it's from HDLT supplements. It reduces your appetite by about 28%. If that is not strong enough and you still have food noise, perhaps you're morbidly obese, you go to AlgoRx. Ask them for peptides, get your blood work done. They have doctors that prescribe you prescription medications, and they're there to help. Remember, obesity for many people, it is in fact a disease. And so whether you're looking for a GLP or if you're looking for enclomiphene, if you're looking for telmisartan or even Cialis, AlgoRx, compare the prices to Merrick Health. Thank me later for saving you so much money and use code GREG.
Second, I'd eat in a small deficit and build every meal around protein. I used to cut too low and lose muscle.
And so she's saying, I ate too few calories and I lost muscle. How would she know she's losing muscle? By simply looking in the mirror. Does she say, yep, this week my bicep, it lost 1/4 centimeter. I can see it. The bicep and the tricep, it just lost its fullness. She can't do that. And so she does not know. Now, if she were being coached by Coach Greg, of what you can do so by clicking the link in the description, I would be tracking her weight. Because if she started at, say, 135 pounds, and after week 1 she's 130, I would say, oh my goodness, cheat meal, here it comes. And of course, she'd be eating from the cookbook, not all the meals, and every single day you can eat an off meal plan. And you're gonna be satiated, you're gonna be full, and it's going to be easy. That is the point of the book after all. And so I agree with her. Smaller deficits to lose 0.5 to 1% of your body weight each and every week. How would you actually do this without tracking your weight? You cannot tell by looking in the mirror or putting on your clothes and seeing how loose they are to determine whether or not you're losing muscle.
A smaller deficit with high protein is what actually keeps you looking lean.
A smaller deficit with protein is what keeps you looking lean. No. A smaller deficit is what keeps muscle on, and protein is also what keeps muscle on, while also allowing you to feel satiated. Now, what I would add to this is also add in fiber. Most people, the majority of the world, undereat how much fiber they should be eating. How much fiber should you be eating? At least 30 grams a day. Most people, I believe the average is 14 grams a day. This is from way back in my research. Perhaps it's more right now. I don't think so. And so what you want to do is add in more fruits and vegetables. Those are what's really high in fiber, and on top of that, it's very low in calories, and so it's satiating. You feel full. You're less likely to overindulge and eat too many calories, which ultimately is why you're not losing weight. And so it doesn't technically make you look lean. It allows you to slowly lose body fat without losing muscle. It has nothing to do with looking lean. If your only goal is to look lean, you starve yourself. I'm telling you that is stupid. You don't do that. Your goal shouldn't be to see how fast you can get lean. It should be how slowly can you get to where you want to go without suffering and while keeping every single ounce of that muscle. And once you get there, being able to maintain that for the rest of your life.
Third, I build muscle before trying to get lean.
No! You have to build muscle before you get lean. Okay, and so people are watching her video. Let's see if there's many that watch this. No, not many people watch it, thank God. Picture this. You're fat right now. 40% body fat, fatter than her. Or her body fat, what? Exactly what? You're just fat. And so you watch this video, 4 ways to be better. Okay. And you're like, point number 3, lift weights and build muscle before getting lean. And so you now have to train with weights for what? 5 years? 2 years? How many years before you can then go on a diet? Have you ever heard of main gain, where you lose fat and build muscle at the same time? And so you realize that losing fat is 10 times easier than building muscle. And so if you have to, for example, add 10 pounds of muscle before you can start dieting, how long could that take? May it be years? And so you're really going to put off losing weight for years in order to build up some muscle. That doesn't make sense. And if you're going to say, oh, well, it's just a couple months of training is not going to be enough, especially for short girls, to put on a significant amount of muscle, so much muscle that it's magically going to transform your fat loss. This advice, moronic. And so what should you do? If you're fat, you lift weights, you do your full body twice a week, and at the same time, you're in a calorie deficit. Let's call it 500 calories per day. 500 times 7 is 3,500 calories, and that equates to 1 pound of fat loss each and every week. And so if you want to lose 10 pounds of fat, it's going to take you 10 weeks. Do you need to lose that quickly? No. What's wrong with 250 calorie deficit? You stretch that out at 1,750 calories per week. That's 1/2 pound of fat. And in 20 weeks, you lose 10 pounds.
More muscle means higher maintenance, which is why I can eat over 2,000 calories now and stay lean.
More muscle means more maintenance. And so what she's trying to say is that muscle burns more than fat. Every pound of muscle at rest burns approximately 8 calories. And so if you build up that muscle first, 10 pounds, it's about 80 calories that you get to eat extra. In actuality, it's probably going to be 200 to 300 more calories a day that you get to eat, because you're going to use those muscles while lifting weights, and you're going to lift heavier weights. You're also going to do more cardio. You're going to burn more through NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. And so having more muscle, it is in fact beneficial. I'm not disagreeing with her there, but she says, this is why I can eat 2,000 calories a day. A lot of people can eat 2,000 calories a day. Mepsigram loses weight on 2,000 calories a day. And why? Because she does cardio. I burnt 2,000 calories sometimes during a single bike ride. I do it for hours. And so if you want to be able to eat 2,000 calories a day and still lose weight, which do you think is more important? Having 10 pounds of muscle or using your body?
Fourth, I wouldn't hate on cardio like I used to.
And thank God she says I wouldn't hate on cardio. Do you know how much I hate when influencers, especially those who have large followings and know better, tell people that they did this and they did that without cardio, and they use it as a way to brag? Like, you're literally bragging about not doing something that's going to extend your life that's healthy. It would be equivalent to me saying, hey, I built muscle without lifting weights. I used steroids, and all I did was carry my groceries upstairs. Well, That isn't as good as if you did the cardio. And so stop seeing exercise as a punishment. Exercise is a reward. And so what kind of cardio does she suggest? Zone 2 cardio, easy, steady state cardio. She says walking, which normally I'm not a fan of because to me it's too easy, but I can see she's walking up an incline. And so just so that you can learn something really quick right now, if you walk on a flat and you're a short girl and you weigh, let's say 154 pounds, aka you're fat, you're gonna burn approximately 100 calories per mile. Now, if you walk quickly as a short girl, you might be able to walk 3 miles in an hour. If you're speed walking, essentially, because you're a short girl, you're gonna burn 300 calories per hour if you're fit, walking on a flat surface. Now, if you increase that incline to 15%, and you still walk at 3 miles per hour, you just went from burning 300 calories to 600. It doubles the calorie burn and makes it significantly harder. And so that is in fact much harder cardio. And so rather than walking at 3 miles per hour on a flat, you could walk at 2 miles per hour on a 15% incline, and you're actually burning more calories while walking slower. And so when you're doing your cardio, please try to make it at a moderate intensity. Yes, walking is better than nothing, but when you're a young girl in your 20s, or guy for that matter, and you're walking, it's not exercise, it's just going about your day. I call it NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. Does it burn calories? Of course it does. She could burn perhaps 300 calories in an hour, but why burn 300 an hour when she could burn 600? Or why burn 300 calories in an hour when she could do it in 30 minutes? How much of deficient from maintenance calories? And so she responded with 200 to 300 calories. So she's at a 250 calorie daily deficit times 7, 1750. So she's going to lose approximately 1/2 pound of fat a week. My opinion is that is perfect. It's a very slow fat loss. And so you're not going to lose a lot of muscle. It's going to take more time. Obviously, it's going to take 20 weeks to lose 10 pounds of fat, but you're going to be able to keep every single pound of muscle, and you're not going to be starving the entire time. And so the slower, the better. Another fact for you, the faster you lose the weight, the more likely you are to regain the weight. And so if you lose the weight more slowly, gradually, it's a lot easier to keep that weight off versus if you crash diet, the hunger pains are going to come back, the ghrelin is going to be through the roof, eventually your willpower fails, you go off the rails, and you have a 10,000 calorie cheat, and you've done all that hard work. And so what would be the point? It's much better, for example, to lose half as much weight as you want, to take your time doing so, but to keep all of that weight off. If you've ever dieted in the past and regained the weight, and you've done so perhaps every single year, it's time to stop. Get my freaking cookbook, click the link, try the GLP Max to reduce your cravings. And of course, you know about the GO2 Max and Turk Builder Max. Get those, and if that isn't enough, you most likely are going to need something like Ozempic or Tirzepatide. You can of course get these things from your doctor, or visit Algorex, code Greg, 10% off. And so somebody writes a comment. They're probably thinking like Coach Greg, did you say build muscle first, then get lean? Notice how she didn't respond. Now, I'm trying to keep this real, and it doesn't make me a misogynist. She's flat out wrong about this. She gave her opinion. Remember, it's an opinion. She thinks it's better to do that. I'm going to give you my opinion. That doesn't make any sense. I've explained why. And if you want to believe her, after all, it's her video. She's the short girl. What am I but a short guy? Well, it's on you. When you talk about building muscle before you get lean, what does your diet look like? And how many calories are you eating during that phase? This is when you know that she doesn't know what she's talking about. I kind of bulk intuitively, to be honest. Did she look like she needed to bulk in the off season? Do you really think that you had to get your body fat percentage to, I predict, about 35% in order to properly put on muscle? And so imagine she looked like that in the beginning. That is your starting point, and you're thinking, you know what? I want to put on muscle. You have to bulk intuitively, you have to eat in a calorie surplus and get fat in order to put on muscle, and then later you can cut off that weight by doing cardio. No, you can mean gain. That's it. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm. Please like this video if you liked it. Hopefully you learned something here. Don't forget to watch one of those two groups. If you want to get sponsored by Coach Greg, carry the supplements in your stores and or gym, or get coached by myself or myself and my team, you got to click that link. Until next time, I am out.